built on tradition, held together by love and light. Chag Sam each, with love. The message sat glowing on Lena's phone screen, its warmth almost palpable despite the miles that stretched between her and the man who had sent it. She read it again, slowly this time, tracing each word as if it carried more than meaning, like it held a promise, or perhaps a question she wasn't yet ready to answer. 90 days. That was all they had. 90 days to decide whether love, fragile and luminous as it felt now, could survive the weight of tradition, distance, and expectation. Lena leaned against the small balcony railing of her family's apartment, the evening air soft and fragrant with spices drifting up from the street below. Her world had always been rooted here, anchored in rituals, in familiar rhythms, in the unspoken understanding that some things simply did not change. Love, in her family, was steady and predictable. It grew slowly, carefully, arranged like the meals her mother prepared, balanced, intentional, and shared. And yet, everything about Daniel had been the opposite. Unpredictable, bright, a spark she hadn't been looking for. She met him on a quiet evening, in a place far removed from both their worlds. What began as a conversation about food turned into hours of laughter, stories spilling into the night, and a connection neither of them could easily explain. He spoke of his traditions with reverence, of candles glowing in darkened rooms, of songs that carried history through generations. She listened, captivated not just by the rituals, but by the way his eyes softened when he spoke of them. Tradition, he had said once, isn't just about holding on to the past, it's about giving love a place to live. At the time, Lena hadn't fully understood what he meant. Now, she was beginning to. Her phone buzzed again. "Daniel, did you get my message?" She smiled faintly and typed back. Asterisk I did. It's beautiful, asterisk. There was a pause before his reply came. Asterisk it's for you, for us, asterisk. Us. Such a small word, but it carried so much weight now. Inside the apartment, she could hear her mother calling her name. Dinner was ready, it always was. At the same time, in the same way, Lena hesitated, glancing once more at the city stretching out before her, then at the message on her screen. Built on tradition, held together by love and light. Could something built from two different worlds ever truly stand? Across the ocean, Daniel sat at his kitchen table, a single candle flickering beside him. The room was quiet, but not empty. It held memories of family gatherings, of laughter, of voices raised in song. Tonight, though, it felt incomplete. He imagined Lena there, sitting across from him, her curious eyes taking everything in. He had tried to explain his traditions to her, but words often fell short. How could he describe the way the light felt, the way it wrapped around everything, making even the ordinary seem sacred? He had sent her that message not just as a greeting, but as an invitation. To step into his world. To let him step into hers. But he knew it wasn't that simple. Love rarely was. The 90 days loomed over them like an invisible clock, ticking steadily forward. It was meant to be enough time to decide, to commit, to begin a life together. But how could time measure something as complex as love? How could it account for the quiet doubts, the unspoken fears, the pull of everything they might have to leave behind? His phone lit up. Asterisk I did. It's beautiful, asterisk. Daniel exhaled softly, relief mingling with hope. Asterisk it's for you, for us, asterisk. He stared at the screen after sending the message, wondering if he had said too much or not enough. The next few weeks unfolded like a delicate dance, each step bringing them closer while revealing just how much distance remained. They spoke every day, sometimes for hours, sometimes just a few quiet moments stolen between obligations. They shared pieces of their lives, recipes, songs, memories. Lena showed him the bustling streets she had grown up in, the markets alive with color and noise. Daniel showed her the quiet rituals of his home, the way light transformed the simplest spaces into something almost magical. But alongside the beauty, there were challenges. Will your family accept me? Daniel asked one evening, his voice careful. Lena hesitated. I don't know, she admitted. They believe in certain things, in staying close, in keeping traditions the way they are. And you? He asked gently. She looked away, her reflection faint in the darkened screen. I believe in love, she said finally, but I also believe in not losing who I am. Daniel nodded, though she couldn't see him. I don't want you to lose anything, He said, I just want to build something, together. Together. It sounded simple. It wasn't. As the days passed, the pressure began to mount. Lena's family started asking questions, subtle at first, then more direct. Who was he? Where was he from? What did he want? She answered as best she could, but each answer seemed to raise more concerns. Love is not enough, her mother said one night, her tone firm but not unkind. Life is built on more than feelings. Lena thought of Daniel's words. Tradition is about giving love a place to live. Wasn't that what her mother meant, in a different way? Meanwhile, Daniel faced his own doubts. His friends were supportive, but cautious. Are you sure you can bridge that gap? One of them asked. Different cultures, different expectations, it's not easy. I know, Daniel said. But knowing didn't make it easier. Still, every time he thought about Lena, her laughter, her strength, the way she challenged him to see the world differently, he felt something steady beneath the uncertainty. Something worth holding on to. Day 45. They decided to meet again. This time, there was more at stake. When Lena saw him waiting at the airport, something inside her settled. The doubts didn't disappear, but they softened, making room for something stronger. Reality. Daniel stepped forward, and for a moment, neither of them spoke. They simply stood there, the noise of the world fading around them. You're here, he said softly. I'm here, she replied. The days they spent together were filled with both joy and tension. They visited places, shared meals, met friends, they laughed, argued, learned. Lena tried to embrace Daniel's traditions, lighting candles with him, listening to the stories behind them. She didn't understand everything, but she felt the meaning in them. Daniel, in turn, immersed himself in her world, learning her language, tasting her food, respecting the rhythms of her life. They weren't just falling in love. They were building something. Slowly, carefully. Day 72. The question they had been avoiding finally surfaced. What happens after the 90 days? Lena asked. Daniel looked at her, the answer heavy in his chest. We decide, he said. We choose. And if we choose wrong? She whispered. He reached for her hand. Then we learn, he said, but at least we won't wonder what could have been. Lena closed her eyes, feeling the weight of everything they had shared. Tradition, love, light. Could they really hold it all together? Day 89. They sat side by side, a single candle flickering between them. It felt symbolic, though neither of them said it out loud. Daniel broke the silence. I don't want to lose what we have, he said.